name's Kelly. What's your name?
Kiva.
Kiva. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Just
too.
came in. Is that what you prefer to be called?
Yes.
Kiva. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you came in today and just kind of give you a brief idea about how our session is going to go. We're going to set an agenda just to kind of make sure, want to get to know you a little bit, maybe talk about some presenting problems you might have, go over the structure of our sessions from here on out, and then I'm going to ask for some of your feedback and see what you think.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, I'd like to know a little bit about what brought you here and how you're feeling. I have a brief idea from the papers you filled out, but I'd really like to hear it from you.
Those papers really didn't give me a choice of how I feel. I just wrote anything down, but I'm lately just been happy, but then, I want to be happy. That's how I feel. I just want to be happy, and I don't know how to do that.
Okay. And I'm just going to be taking some brief notes for this initial session just so I can make sure to remember everything that goes on, okay?
Okay.
Because I want to try and get to know you as best as I can.
Okay.
Okay, so what I hear you saying is that you want to be happy, but at this point in your life, you're not sure how to make that happen. Is that correct?
That's right, because I don't have a job. I'm living with friends who are letting me stay with them, but I don't know how long that's going to work out. And boyfriend broke up with me about 6 months ago. He won't take my calls, and, my family has been telling me to just let it go, and just feel like nobody's supporting me in my effort to try to get back in that relationship, and I want to find happiness somehow.
I see. So, you're feeling the pressure from a lot of different sources, and you don't feel like you have anybody to back you up.
Yes.
Is that how you're feeling?
Yes.
Feeling a little kind of alone and.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk about that a little bit more and explore that in future sessions. But for today, I just want to, take that and ask you. So, what are some goals that you expect to achieve, out of this therapy?
I want to feel good about myself. I want to get some advice on how to get my boyfriend back, even though everyone tells me that's not realistic, but I'm still searching for somebody that'll tell me that that's something that I should do. And I want to be a little bit more independent, because right now, like I said, I'm living with friends. I don't have a job, and my family gives me money, but I always have to hear a story. Why don't you have a job? You're this age, and we're still giving you money. And so if I can just be a little bit more independent, not having to depend on people, so I don't have to hear that all the time.
So, well, what we're going to do is we're going to try and implement some of those goals to be reachable for you, okay, throughout our session. So the more that you come and see me and the better I can get to know you, the more we can work together on reaching these goals for you. Okay? Okay. Now, I want you to know and understand a little bit about what kind of therapy we do here. And it's called cognitive-based therapy. Is that something that you've ever heard of before?
No, never heard of it.
Okay. Well, basically, the idea behind it is things that we think influence our feelings and emotions. Simple. So, and the way that we use this therapy is when we talk about presenting problems, we try to, put a finger on the thoughts that are entering our mind, either before we're feeling that emotion or during. So then through these different thought processes, if we can learn to think different thoughts, we can also feel different emotions, maybe even emotions that are more positive or, impact our lives for the better. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, it sounds great.
So, okay, that's good to hear. So, what does your schedule look like throughout this next week?
I don't have a job, so I'm kind of have some free time.
Okay.
So it's pretty open.
Okay. Are you going to school at all right now for anything?
I've signed up, but my classes haven't started yet, so.
Okay. Okay, so your schedule's pretty open then. Well, just to kind of give you a focus, when you look into this next week, what are some of the things you see yourself dealing with? What are some of the major?
Dealing with parents having to give me money and listening to the speech again about, becoming an adult and taking care of myself. And that's the biggest thing I dread this week. Sometimes my ex-boyfriend answers the phone and, he won't really talk to me, but at least I get to hear his voice. So my biggest thing this week is I need to ask my parents for money, and I'm going to have to hear the speech.
Okay. Well, I want you to try and focus on the feelings that you have when your parents start talking to you, and you might even be able to tell me what those are now. So this week, when you start feeling those feelings, try to think back, what are, if you can ask yourself, what are my thoughts? What was I just thinking? And try to write that down for me if that's something you feel you can do.
Yeah, I can.
Okay? And also, I noticed one of your goals that you want is to get some advice on how to get your boyfriend back, right?
Right.
So one thing for this week, what is one thing that you can do to try and figure out, some of the most important people in your life to you right now?
My parents are really important because they support me financially, and they're proud of me for going back to school, and they just always said I could just get over him, it would help me. They have tried, but I'm trying to get them to understand my point of view too, but my parents are the most important because they support me no matter what, even though they give me the talk every time they give me money.
And how does that make you feel right now, thinking about that?
It makes me feel good to know that I do have them, because some of my friends who I live with, they can't call their parents for money.
Now see, I just want to bring this out, that just a few minutes ago, you're talking about how upset you were with your parents, and which is understandable. And now, but you see how just a little shift in your thinking can help you see that, well, you do appreciate your parents for certain things, and it is a good thing that they're there. So these are the things I want you to focus on throughout this next week.
Okay.
Okay?
I can try that.
Okay, good. And so today, just to kind of wrap things up, I know we're getting short on time. We've kind of established getting to know each other a little bit. We talked about our agenda, kind of the flow of how the sessions are going to go. When you come in next week, I'm just going to ask you about some things that you'd like to talk about, and then we're going to try and prioritize those so that we make sure we get to the most important things first. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can even be thinking about some of those things you want to be talking to me about so that you'll be ready. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And I know that some of the goals that you want to get out of therapy is you want to feel better about yourself and about life. You want some more advice on relationships. And you want to feel a little bit more independent.
Mm-hmm.
And you also talked about some of those things you feel are getting in the way of you reaching those goals. Does that sound okay?
That sounds just right.
Is that right? Okay. I also want to ask you for a chance for some feedback. I mean, is there anything that you have any thoughts about this session or any ways that you could help me improve?
I liked the session when I was kind of scared to come in here. I thought you were going to tell me I was crazy or put me on some medication, but you kind of eased my fears a little bit and let me know that it's going to be, just talking. I'm glad to have somebody that'll listen to me.
Well, that's what we're here for. So, all right. Well, it was nice to meet you, Kiva, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.